Hey guys, what is up? I am Tito DOG, and I am here to talk about the brand new Jakks Pacific Collector's Shadow figure that was shown off in Sonic Central. Now, I have been waiting for a Shadow Collector's figure for the longest time, and this guy looks absolutely stunning. The Doom Wings are an amazing piece, and displayed on a shelf, he's just gonna look phenomenal. There are a lot of things I'm excited for about this figure, and there are some things that I am questionable about. But first, before we get into this, I just want to show off my reaction to when this guy was shown off, because I think everyone else was not expecting him.
This 6-inch Shadow the Hedgehog
Whoa!
figure by
No
Jakks
way!
Pacific is sure to be a hit with
No
collectors
way!
and Sonic fans of all
I was
ages.
not expecting that.
Match the swappable
That's
pieces,
crazy.
including hands and toes.
He has the
Your
Doom
favorite
Wings.
Shadow presentation.
No
Show
way.
off your customized master
He has a
prop using
torso
Rocky
swivel.
display base.
This is so much better than the
This
Sonic
figure is coming
one.
soon.
Holy
Ultimate
crap.
power in the palm
No
of your hand, as well as
way.
wireless controllers. Featuring a
They
collectible
how did they just drop that on us?
multi-layered
Like it was
design. It's officially
nothing.
licensed.
Now, right off the bat, like I mentioned in my reaction, his articulation looks significantly different from the Collector's Edition Sonic, with Shadow having torso swivel, a thigh swivel, ankle articulation, wrist articulation, better neck articulation even, and even butterfly joints. So this guy in hand is definitely, or hopefully, going to be a lot better than the other collector's figures. The only thing I'm worried about with this guy is him being too top heavy, and you could even see them using an arm clamp to hold him up there, so that way he doesn't fall backwards with the weight of the Doom Wings. But man, those Doom Wings are amazing looking. I'm so surprised that we even got some Sonic X Shadow Generations representation in the form of action figures so soon before the game even released. You know, usually with something like this, we'd have to wait maybe like a few months in advance for them to make something like this, but I'm glad to see it so soon before release. I wish they would have given this kind of love to Sonic Frontiers and have gotten some like Sonic Frontiers themed figures, but you know, I'm happy we got Shadow with some Doom power stuff. You can even see the base is a little bit different than the other Jakks bases. All of the other collector's figures have these 3D holographic looking designs based on different stages from games. And this one just looks like a unique base, kind of like a first four figures style base of the White World area from Sonic X Shadow Generations. And it's kind of a cool, like, unique look to it. I really like it. It really helps like solidify that this is the Shadow figure for this game. Now, getting into an issue I have with this figure are, his inhibitor rings. They're just, like, yellow. It's kind of like the Jakks Super Shadow figure when his inhibitor rings were painted, like, solid yellow. It just doesn't look right. He's supposed to have gold rings. And, you know, the 4-inch figure has it. And even some of the other collectors' figures have gold paint on them. Like Tails, he comes with a gold ring. And even Classic Sonic comes with a gold ring. So the fact that they kind of cheaped out on the paint on this guy is kind of disappointing. I'm hoping this is just like a prototype one and the paint isn't finalized. Like even the base has gold paint. I don't know why they couldn't just add that extra detail to his inhibitor rings. I know a lot of people are definitely going to be repainting that on their figures. Another thing I noticed that is interesting, kind of concerning, is the way the Doom Wings connect to his back. You can see kind of like a seam line on his back quills that kind of like slice them in half almost. And it looks like the Doom Wings peg into his back. If you want to display Shadow without the Doom Wings, I feel like they're not going to have an option for that. And there's just going to be like a hard cutoff where his quills end, where the wings plug into. It's just going to look kind of awkward, I think. But I'm going to wait to see until we have more pictures before I fully formulate my opinion on that. Another thing is the pose. Like, who posed him like that? He just looks kind of awkward and, like, I don't know. For such, for a figure that looks like it has so much better articulation than their previous counterparts, his pose is kind of like very stiff and weird, and the hands they chose to pose him in is kind of awkward. I think they could have, like, gone for a much more dynamic pose. But, I mean, that's the least of my concern right now. That's enough of the negatives. Let's get to some positives. I'm really excited for the ankle articulation and the wrist articulation for these guys because the other figures are just very stiff and the articulation is very limited. Heck, Sonic can't even like fully bend his leg backwards, and it looks like the articulation on this guy is very similar to the movie figures, and their articulation range is amazing. So I'm really hoping that Jakks continues to make collector's figures with articulation similar to this style. Like, I'd love a Knuckles with articulation like this, modern Knuckles that is, and even a retooled modern Sonic. A lot of new fans who have gotten into collecting these figures have not been able to get their hands on a modern Sonic because they're simply not available at retailers anymore, and the only way to get them is by dishing out $60 to $100 on eBay or Mercari or just any third-party service just to get their hands on them. And it's unfortunate because he's not a very great figure. I would love for them to give this love to a modern Sonic that goes with him, and I think it would just bring these figures to a much higher quality compared to what they are at originally. Another thing is the price tag. We don't know what this guy's going to retail at, considering the previous ones retailed at, I believe it was like 54 MSRP USD, which was a little bit too expensive for those guys. I think with everything this guy looks like he has so far, with the Doom Wings, with all of this extra articulation, I feel that it is a bit more justified, but we still have yet to see the official MSRP price for him. Another big change that I noticed with this guy compared to the other figures is his eyes and his muzzle. It looks like they're molded together as one piece instead of two separate pieces like all of the other previous collector's figures. So for example, the one on screen, his eyes and his angry mouth, they're just one piece together that looks like it pops into his head. Which is kind of unfortunate because I liked mixing and matching different muzzles and eyes. Like if I wanted closed eyes with a smirking mouth, I'm kind of not able to do that because, you know, the closed eyes might be on an open mouth muzzle, and it just kind of throws off all sorts of customization options for this guy's facial expressions. But I mean, I'm hoping there's like a good variety of facial expressions, like maybe eyes looking off to the side. All we can really do now is wait and see. I'm also curious as to what hands he's going to come with, because we see that like half gripped, like clawed hand, and then whatever that other hand is, I think he has like a peace sign almost, which is an interesting hand. I don't know why he has that. Is that like a chaos spear throwing hand? I don't know. But it would be cool if he had like an emerald holding hand, or even like a hand with a chaos spear, or skating hand. He has to have fists, of course. I'm very curious, and I'm excited to see what else they show off for this guy. But that's all for this video analyzing this collector's figure, Shadow the Hedgehog. And, you know, I'm excited for him. I'm definitely going to be picking him up as soon as he drops and making a video unboxing him. So hopefully he releases soon. Let me know if you guys are going to be picking this guy up down in the comment section below, and what you hope he comes with as well. I am Tito the OG, and I will see you guys next time.